There may be explicit language in today's episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number 132 of Tailgate Talks. This episode, as always, is sponsored by Defrisher Recycling and Junk Removal. More on them later. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
By the way,
Actually, no, I'm peeved right now. I'm peeved.
He's
by
peeved.
the way, first time on the show. 880's most elite, Austin Cairnes.
Wow, what an intro.
Yeah.
It's
the best we get.
880's most elite, Mike, but thank you very much. Much
That's-
appreciated.
You should
That's
take
the
notes,
best.
Mike.
That is the best. That is the best you get, and thank you for not bringing Carl with you.
I mean, I can call him up right now if you want me to.
No.
You sure?
Please do.
No.
Please
Nope.
do.
Nope.
Please
Do it.
do.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Moving on.
Yes.
Moving
It's
on.
only one phone
Yes.
call away, just so you know.
Yes.
And I could kick you out. So
That's a good point. It's good to be with you guys, though. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
pretty good.
Doing great. Great to
You
be here.
can listen to Austin's podcast to Jagoffs. It's actually, I'll admit, it's okay.
Let's go. I'm going to go listen to it as soon as we're done here tonight.
But of course, we have to start off with wrestling, and of course, the number one topic in wrestling. He's gone. Our childhood is gone. John Cena has officially retired. And by the way, I just did not see the Dolph Ziggler poster that's right beside Austin.
Good
my
old
guy right there.
Dolph.
I just noticed
Shout
that
the
now.
Dolph.
I just noticed that now. Listen, people that aren't normally, they don't watch wrestling normally. Listen, I get it. It's John Cena, his last match. If there was a guy that should go out winning in his last match, it's Cena. But man, let me tell you, because me and Austin, I mean, we're still green to the business right now. I feel like Austin, I feel like you're a little bit more ahead of me because you're obviously on the shows. But in terms of like the time-honored traditions of stuff, we're green is what I mean. It's just the business. That's how it works. If legends should win, well, Sting was the exception because Sting didn't want to win his last match, but Tony was like, "No, you're winning." Kurt Angle lost. Ric Flair lost. Shawn lost until he ruined it. And I'm pretty sure did Triple H didn't really have a retirement match, but did he win his last match? I don't even know. I'd have to.
I
look that
couldn't
up.
care less after how he drew this up.
But again, I get it. But here's the thing. For the amount of time we've been in the business, Austin, I thought the finish was perfect. Perfect. Like, what do you think? Because again, I get it. It's John Cena, but like, he had to lose.
I mean, I got to agree with you. I think it was perfect. I mean, whenever you write up something like that, going up against Gunther, Saturday night's main event, you've been building it up all year long with the retirement tour, the heel turn. I know certain people had certain feelings on how exactly they went about that and with The Rock and everything, but at the end of the day, this is John Cena we're talking about here. He's still the GOAT. He's still the greatest of all time. And when he was smiling on his way out, his entire career living on never give up, and then finally saying, "Hey, I'm going to give this up. It's time. My time is over. Their time is now." It was symbolic. It was a great way for him to go out.
Yeah.
See, and for me, that's what I don't like. I wanted him to win. I feel like, okay, hear me out. I feel like it's, for John Cena, basic thugonomics that he doesn't lose.
Basic
Anybody get that
thugonomics.
reference? Anybody get that reference?
I got the reference.
He hasn't.
Thank you.
I was gonna say he hasn't
Thank
done
you.
that like since what, 2005?
Word life.
Yeah.
Um,
Word life. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I watched some of the clips, watched him walking out, went, yeah, 9-year-old me is just going nuts right now. Actually, going nuts in the sense that he lost, but
Hey, I'll admit it. I cried during his entrance a little bit.
We all did.
But again, listen, here's another thing of why it was the right call. There is a video on TikTok actually that I found of Gunther leaving the arena. This guy had so much heat, incredible heat, and he's probably going to kick the show off tonight. And I want everybody to look up Roman Reigns' entrance the night after WrestleMania 33, I think, when he beat Undertaker, and everybody thought Undertaker was gone. That's what you want, because he's a bad guy. You just created a monster heel that retired everybody's childhood hero. So it's all you could ask for. And I thought it was perfect because, again, you think about it, the guy that never gives up, that's preached that for years, and the crowd was chanting "Don't give up," and he's fighting, he's giving the face of oh, I don't want to do it, and then like you said, Austin, he started smiling, and it hit him. He knew his time was up, so he tapped. It's perfect. It was perfect. Now, here's the thing, though. The hate for Triple H is hilarious. Because the crowd, guys, listen. Every time they showed Hunter on screen, the fans in the arena booed him out of the building. They chanted "You effed up" at him. They just booed and booed him and booed and booed. Social media was calling for him to be fired. It's okay, don't get me wrong. I think he's an overrated booker, but let's calm down here a little bit. But no, I thought it was finished. The match was good. I thought it was as good as it was going to be with what Cena can do at this age. Gunther obviously he was awesome. And the only other complaint I had about that show was the DQ finish in the first match. You did not have to do that.
What for?
Obafemi and Cody. You could have had Drew come out, attack Cody after the match, do what you did. And I get you don't want to beat the NXT champion or the WWE champion, but if Cody lost, it's not going to affect him at all if he lost. So yeah, but I don't know. But that's probably the last time I watched WWE in a while, because I normally don't watch WWE until probably WrestleMania the Royal Rumble, because I always watch the Royal Rumble. So yeah, real quick, Austin, of course, big 880 show this Saturday, and it's already been confirmed because Brandon won last Thursday. Nix Wilde will put the title on the line against Brandon St. James. Do you have a prediction? Do you think this is Brandon's time finally? I actually just listened to your interview with Brandon on obviously it was before he beat Nix. But do you have a prediction? I think this is Brandon's time. It's looking pretty good for Brandon St. James.
It's looking really good for Brandon St. James. I've had the unfortunate privilege of calling Nix Wilde's entire title reign so far, ever since they defeated Gianni Michael Enrico many months ago. But as of right now, Brandon St. James is on a roll. He upset everybody. He spoiled in the Eliminator match this past Thursday on Thursday Night Fights. And I could very well see him winning. I mean, when I talked to him even on Sunday on 2 Jagoffs, he seemed determined. He seemed motivated. He has a goal set in place, and that's to beat Nix Wilde. I agree. I'm going BSJ this Sunday.
WWE just posted a clip of
Saturday
Drew at Drew's house. Cody broke in and attacked him.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Was 09 Orton and Triple H again?
It must be. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, tickets are still available. This show will drop on Thursday, so there'll be time to hit the link and all that. But real quick, before I forget, I told the guys in the chat there was 6 replies to Ohio State possibly winning the Natty this year. And of course, the Ohio State fan right here, I figured I'll read them all. Oh, the first comment, the profile picture is a Michigan logo.
Hope.
All right.
That's my
All right.
burner.
That's your burner? Yeah. Okay, first one. Man, even the two guys you're on the chat know OSU isn't winning at all. So you honestly believe that this year team is better than the team that lost to Georgia a couple of years ago?
You can't even write a coherent sentence. Cope harder.
There was no grammar either. Austin, do you get some comments about on two Jagoffs from random people?
Yeah, we actually got a lot of interesting comments when I had Greg Brown on. Everybody did not fully agree with his opinions on the Pirates season. He was
He
I'm not
said
gonna
he was
go into.
disappointed though. He said it was disappointing though, and it was.
He said he was disappointed, and to his credit, a lot of people were saying that like he was defending the Pirates organization and stuff. But I feel like he was being open in that interview. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, because he's gonna trash the team that employs him. Like,
Exactly. Like, come on,
Listen.
common sense here, people.
listen, is there some things in the past that Greg has said that I disagree with? Yeah, but I'm not gonna attack the guy for it. Like
He's still one of the most exciting commentators in baseball.
Couldn't
yeah.
agree more.
Though I'm sorry, Austin. Zip zap. What was it he said years ago? Zip zap, because or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Why? Why? But all right, next one. Ohio State beating Texas Tech in the final. Yeah, maybe. Tech's defense is better than Indiana's. It will be really great, a really great defensive struggle.
No. Go ahead, Alex.
Tech's defense being better than Indiana's is interesting.
Because
They have
it was
a
a
better
real,
linebacker than
it was a
Indiana.
real where I said Texas Tech was going to the finals. So that's,
Yeah, right. That's interesting. I like that actually. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that one's not too
I
bad.
don't like it, but we'll save my opinion on that.
Indiana didn't expose anything that wasn't already an issue. Red zone, people acting like Indiana just ruled us. Still no opponent has gotten more than 16 points against us. Red zone play calling and a terrible kicker plays roles. No exposure though. This is problems we knew existed. Indiana will get bounced from the playoffs. We beat ourselves more than Indy beat us. Congrats. They were the slightly better team that night. They can have the Big Ten championship. We will take back-to-back natties. Obviously, Ohio State fan comment.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I definitely agree that the things that we struggled with against Indiana were things that we've already struggled with this year. So yeah, I guess exposed might not have been the perfect word to use for it, just reflecting on my commentary. But I mean, they were the first team to really make it obviously since the opening of the season against Texas.
Yeah.
So fair point taken on that one.
Indiana exposed Ohio State.
Oh, we're just going both sides of the coin here, eh? Cool.
And then last one, and the guy with the person with the Michigan commented on this comment. This person said Ohio State will be gone. It will be the Oregon Ducks versus Georgia in the finals.
Like
Georgia
I said,
maybe, Oregon most definitely not.
like I said, that's my burner. Tread carefully.
No, not that person. No. This next comment is your burner. Said this guy sounds as foolish as he looks.
I did say
Crazy
that.
work.
Austin, who do you got in the finals? Mine was Ohio State in Texas Tech, I think, with Ohio State going back to back, I think is what I said.
Ooh. See, I had Ohio State going back to back too, but I'm not quite sure who I'd have as the second one. I haven't kept up with college football as much as I would love to this year, but I've heard a lot of good things about Texas Tech so far this year. I really have.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, Austin, Texas Tech has loaded a bunch of money into their defense, and their
Okay.
offense is solid too. The issue is they play in the Big 12,
Right.
and they haven't played anybody besides Utah and then BYU twice. Boat race
Still-
BYU twice. They're good, is where I
Okay,
was getting with that.
Don't crucify me. Actually, I don't care if the internet crucifies me whatsoever. So I don't know why I was even going to bother saying that. But Big 12 is probably the third best conference in college football at this point. So like, we really going to take the ACC over the Big 12 at this point in football? I'm not.
Unfortunately,
Not this year, that's for sure.
I'm
Unfortunately,
not taking them for the foreseeable future over the Big 12, personally. Clemson's regressing. Dabo refuses to get with the times.
I mean, you got a point. Whenever you have an 8-5 team win your conference, that means you're pretty much in the subpar.
Yeah, Duke's going to be 7-5 again next year and be in the Pop-Tart Bowl that time. I don't think the ACC is that good. I think Mario Cristobal was more impressive this year with Miami, but I'm still not taking them over Tech.
That's going to be a mistake a lot of people are making, man. Texas A&M played one competent team this year, and they're not even a competent team in Texas, and got beat.
Well,
they played Kentucky, South Carolina, LSU, name the rest of the lower tier SEC teams, and then they play Texas A&M and they get beat. I don't know. They also beat Notre Dame though. So
how do we think? Well, this is a subject for another day, but I think a Kiffin LSU is going to be really interesting, personally.
You know what I think is going to be really interesting?
Seeing where Brian Kelly doesn't get a job next.
Oh, I'm going to go on record here and say this: if Brian Kelly coaches Michigan, I'm not watching another game till he's gone. I'm telling you that right now. I'll be a Pitt fan for the next 4 years. I will not watch a Michigan game. Speaking of Michigan football, we don't have to go into details about the Sharon Moore thing because we don't have time for it.
Yeah, it's too.
Yeah, that's an elephant right there.
Yeah, it's too much. We won't touch on it. But I will say that from what I've read recently, more basically just today is where I've read a lot. Biff is trying to keep his team together. Everybody loves Biff in that organization. The issue is Biff's not a head coach. Biff's like that motivation guy that everybody just loves, that you love to play for.
That lifetime coordinator.
Yeah, like he's not fit to be a coach at one of the most prestigious universities in the world in terms of college football. So I don't think it'll be Biff that's head coach. DeBoer said he doesn't want to leave, but people forget that Nick Saban also said when he was at LSU he's not leaving for the Alabama job, and then 2 weeks later took the Alabama job. Plenty of instances where that happened. So I texted these guys after the news broke, and I said, I think we're heading back to the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke days where we went 5-7 every year and never made a bowl game. Because it's so late in the season. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people say DeBoer and Jed Fish and Dillingham. Those are like the three that people talk about the most.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not excited. I don't foresee a lot of guys leaving, but after what I read today from a bunch of people saying that once that portal opens a second, it's going to be like open season. So I don't know. Hopefully we can keep the core, keep Underwood, keep some of those young defensive guys that we had that made an impact. Everybody else on the offensive side can leave for all I care. It's abysmal. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I honestly don't know. I don't think they're going to hire a coach till the end of the season. Really.
Probably not.
And if they do, I mean, I don't know. I could go on about this forever, but I'd prefer to save my energy for other things to talk about, like the Pens. He said we got to talk about the Pens. Alex, what do you got about the Penguins? Great time to be a Pittsburgh sports fan.
Oh, we lost Mike. Yeah, whatever.
Probably for the best.
Oh, he's back.
There he is.
But we're already
on
to the Penguins.
I never have internet issues. That's weird.
Yeah, Pens, for those of you that don't know, 0-5 in their last 5, 4 of which have been in either overtime or shootout with multiple multi-goal leads in the third period. So a lot of growing pains. Also recently, within the past couple days, Tristan Jarry was traded to the Oilers in exchange for Stuart Skinner. Well, it was Jarry and someone else for Skinner, one of their other guys in the 2027 second round pick or something like that. 2029, I can't remember what year it was. But it's funny. That happened, and before that happened, I was planning on coming on this week and talking about the Pens and how Jarry could get moved before the deadline for decent value because he's played better this year. Beat me to the punch. So there goes that take. That would have been perfect. But It's okay. I'm still riding the high of me and Bryce's Texas Tech college football take from the beginning of the year. But yeah, Pens are not looking great right now. Like I said, a lot of growing pains. 14, 8, and 9 at the moment, which is good for fifth in the Metro. I mean, it's a tight race though. They have 37 points. First place is the Canes. They have 44. So like 7 points out of first right now. Everyone else is within 4 points of each other. So it's tough. And even bottom of the division is the Blue Jackets at 32. Goes them, Rangers with 36, Devils with 37, us with 37, Flyers with 38, Caps with 40, Islanders with 41, Canes with 44. So division's all pretty tight right now.
So what you're saying is the Pens are closer to last place than they are to first place.
Yeah, that is objectively true. Unfortunately,
Great. What a time to be a Pittsburgh sports fan.
Yeah, 99 goals for, 96 goals against, +3 differential. 4-2-4 in our last 10, 5-game losing streak. Yeah, it's.
I mean, then again, the Pens have carried Pittsburgh sports for the last 10 years, roughly. Other than the 2-3 years the Pirates were good. So if they have a little bit of a drawback, that's expected.
No, I need
I'm
more.
with you. I'm with you. It's time for the Steelers and the Pirates to step up, so the Penguins don't have to carry everything every year.
I don't care about the Pirates. Just go back to the days when the Pens were good or the Steelers were good. Just give me one.
We care about the Buccos. We're tired of this garbage.
I watched a great movie today that put this all into perspective. The movie A Bronx Tale. If you haven't watched it,
fantastic movie.
What a great movie. Top 5
Sonny.
Of all time. Don't care what you say. Yeah. But
love that movie.
That movie put my idea in the Pirates into perspective. Why do I care what Bob Nutting does when Bob Nutting doesn't care about me?
That's a fair point.
That's such a great point, and that's such a good reference from that movie.
In all honesty, if you haven't watched A Bronx Tale,
please watch that movie. So good.
But Austin,
wasted potential.
Do you watch hockey at all, Austin?
I do. It was funny enough. I was at Enjoy Wrestling on Saturday. Next thing you know, I'm looking at the Sharks-Penguin game that's up on the TV. We're leading 3-1. Step away for a few minutes, come back in the third period. Next thing you know, we're already losing 6-5 in overtime. So they broke my heart once again.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's not like we're losing to these great teams either. And we're not losing to great teams. We're losing to San Jose and Utah and Montreal. That's the only outright regulation loss we have out of the last 5 losses is Montreal, but it's
been rough keeping up with the Pens.
And this happens all after they go to Tampa and win a thriller 4-3. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, so I think it's tier list time, boys. I think because my internet's been weird. I'm gonna go first just in case.
Go for it.
So I don't know how this is gonna work. Austin, here, you know what? Because we're gonna have Austin be the judge of the names and of course the placements. So Austin, I want you to be the judge of this. I already know I'm gonna lose, but that's fine. So yeah. As I try to figure out and remember how to share a screen.
Be the second time I was a judge in the last 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. By the way, well, you should. Well, whatever John says, you should listen. I don't know why you're being so rude to him. I don't get it.
Hey, he's the one that comes over and picks on me.
Well, he takes time out of his day.
Oh God, here we go.
Talk to you. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Here, guys. In the meantime, while Mike's getting his tier list ready, I've got a candle lit for Cena for his retirement. So.
Gosh. But yeah, excuse the ads that are on here.
Ads by Google.
Yeah, ads by Google. So okay, first one. LOL. Giant. I'm sorry. Both New York teams, you're there. Brady Cook was the starter for the Jets. So yeah.
Brady Cook.
I know the Saints won, but they're still the Saints. I'm sorry, Joe Burrow. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move. No, they deserve to be there. They deserve to be there. Not even Joe Burrow, even though it's not his fault. I don't care. Titans, obviously, there. Commanders, of course, with Jaden Daniels injury, not his fault, but I didn't know where else to put him. This team, I'm sorry, we're back in. Here we go again. This team ain't gonna never win. I'm sorry. You just lost to the Vikings, which, by the way, where did I put the Vikings at? Yeah, no, you're coming back down here. Even though,
Whoa,
though Bryce,
9 looks good, buddy.
JJ did play. JJ did play a lot better.
JJ's been the best quarterback the past 2 weeks.
Anyway,
Unfortunately for him, that doesn't matter.
Anyway, next, I'm sorry, Austin, the Cardinals. They're in this
Leave them there.
category as well.
Leave them there.
And then here again, I know they beat Tampa Bay. Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay. They still, I mean, Kirk Cousins is still their quarterback, so they're still there. Next, legendary Browns. Obviously, don't need to explain it. Shador was awful, and of course, I have not heard a peep from sports media. Probably blaming Kevin Stefanski and the Browns and no receivers.
Oh, it's all over Twitter.
Yeah. I put the Chiefs here because unfortunately Patrick Mahomes did tear his ACL. He is done for the year. And with the dynasty and stuff, I don't know where else to put him. Next, still my GOAT, Raiders. Still love you, Kenny. And then the Colts. Gramps didn't look too bad. I'm not gonna lie. Gramps
still in shape.
Yeah. And by the way,
Gramps been running that whole offense with all 10 of his children. He's ready.
Jeez. Which, by the way, my thoughts on the Raiders game. Kenny didn't play well, but there's only so much you can do on the Raiders. They're terrible. The O-line is awful. The game plan was terrible, and the Eagles are also still the defending champs. But of course, Pittsburgh sites probably need content to write, so go ahead. Not Steeler Nation. Maybe until you prove me otherwise, I'm still putting the Steelers there. Tampa Bay is kind of on a slump a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, so I put them there. I almost put them up more, the Texans, but I don't know yet. Panthers, they're literally a game away from. They were a game away from clinching their division, so that's but it's still the Panthers. So I got to see how the rest of the year goes. Again, I don't know why the Patriots are here. You're up here. Remember, I put this in last minute. 49ers are, and of course the Dolphins at 6 and 7. I don't understand how they got here, especially how they started the year. But yeah, playoffs, Ravens, Eagles bounce back, but still a little questions on offense, even when you face better teams that aren't the Raiders. Of course, the Lions, the Broncos, the Bears, even though they beat up the Browns, I still think the Bears could probably they'll probably finish second in their division. What's the Bears record right now?
10-4.
10-4. Maybe. Of course, then Seahawks, Jags, Packers, though Micah Parsons did also tear his ACL. So the Packers could go down to maybe, and then the Chargers, and then the Patriots. And then my Super Bowl, the Rams, of course, Matthew Stafford, still have an MVP season. And let me explain. If there was ever a year to do it, it's this year. Can they do it? I don't know. But if there was ever a time to do it, it is this year. So that is my tier lists. Austin, what do we think?
Why do you have the Raiders so high?
Because I still love Kenny Pickett.
Drop the Raiders.
No.
You got to drop the Raiders. They cannot be that high. And I'll tell you why the Dolphins.
Bad.
They are so bad. And the
Well, here's
Dolphins,
the thing. If I dropped them, this would go here, and the legendary would probably go here. These are my bottom tier. These are my bottom tiers. Either way.
This is why you just need more tiers.
You should just move them to the LOL.
I don't know why I gave you 6, but they gave you 6.
Make the Raiders the first team in the LOL.
Well, here. Can I like put them here and then put Kenny Pickett's face right here?
Yeah,
Sure. We'll do that. No, I don't think it's a bad tier list. I mean, I don't fully agree with the Dolphins being maybe still, just because the last few games they won were against the Jets, Saints, Commanders, and Bills, who are division opponents. So it's not like
That's
their
fair.
wins or anything meaningful.
That's
But
fair.
overall, I still feel like this is a pretty solid list. I'm personally not sold on the Chargers at all just yet. I know they've had a couple of good wins this year, but I'm just not sold on Justin Herbert as a playoff contending quarterback. And you bring up a good point about Josh Allen. If any year was the year to win the Super Bowl, or at least be in the Super Bowl, this is the year. Mahomes is down, the Chiefs are out. This is the year they go out there and do it. But is the window closed? Again, Drake May and the New England Patriots are on the rise. That's something they got to worry about. So a lot of
Yeah.
50-50 bets here.
Also, anytime the Cowboys lose, they're in the LOL territory for me. Just say, here we go again. This team ain't gonna ever win.
Mike, you remember Nick Brown,
Nick Brown.
who was
Alex,
behind
I'll go next.
behind
Alright.
the scenes for Sammy and
Oh
Alea?
yeah, your friend. Yeah, your friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan. I have to hear it every week from him.
Oh God.
Yeah, Cowboys
Alex,
fans
I
are the
can go
worst.
since you can save yours for last, since yours is always good.
Can I say?
Mine's good this week. I put some time into it. There we go. All right. Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to start the rankings off with Cancun can't come soon enough. You've got 7 teams here that have had their tickets purchased and their Airbnbs bought since probably September. They're ready. It's time. Go enjoy the beach and the nice weather and the free drinks and the all-inclusive resorts. Except you, Browns. I hate you. Anyway. Enjoy the warm weather while the North suffers. That's the Saints, Dolphins, and Falcons, because at least it's nice where they're at. You know, Atlanta's a little, Miami's, yeah. And then New Orleans is pretty nice, too. But these teams just are teams that I guess the Saints could go down to Cancun, can't come soon enough. But they knew from the beginning of this season that they were kind of out of it, and they were just kind of playing to some of the young guys to get some reps. Falcons actually had a chance, and so did the Dolphins. But they're just not. They're done now. But they're going to enjoy the warm weather. Coaching malpractice. Okay, this is a fun one for me. Tomlin, obviously, coaching malpractice. Buccaneers. Why do you run Sean Tucker 3 times a game, and it's always inside the 10-yard line, and not give Bucky Irving, who's faster, more elusive, and literally better in every other category, but just running downhill, in the malpractice? File a lawsuit against them. Bengals. Obviously, you're doing something wrong. Joe Burrow literally wants to quit football, it sounds like, and he has 2 of our arguably the greatest wide receiver duo in the league currently. That could be argued, but I would say it's definitely top 3. Panthers, because how do you lose to the Saints? Gosh, you win that game, you're pretty much in control of your own destiny, and then you go out there and lose to the Saints, and you give your number 9 overall pick in the draft, Tet McMillan, 4 targets. 4 targets. That is coaching malpractice. You should be sued for that. The Cowboys. Need I say any more about coaching malpractice? Also, I beat Mikey this week because I picked the Saints to beat the Panthers in rapid fire, which is kind of funny that I picked that, but I felt it because they suck. The Vikings go in the middle of the pack, dead middle. They're not they're not in the bottom 14. They're not in the top 16 or whatever the numbers are. They're like dead middle. They've beat some of the top teams, and they've lost to some of the bottom teams. They can't be in coaching malpractice, and they can't be any higher, so they get to ride there. My next one. You're only here because you're still better than the rest, but damn, injuries. Pretty self-explanatory. Chiefs were kind of out of it this year anyway, but they had a huge amount of offensive linemen go out this year, which is definitely shown because Patrick Mahomes, I think, has been sacked more this year than he has in any career of his, or any season of his career so far. Colts, obviously, Danny Dimes loses. They were still in a dogfight this weekend, or gets hurt, not loses. But yeah, injuries. They could still be doing good, and now the downfall started. Lions, same situation. I swear their whole defense is banged up and offense at the same time. Not their main players besides Laporta, but pretty much the rest of them. Packers, yeah, Micah going down definitely is going to hurt them. That lets teams just chip Rashawn Gary now and not have to worry about the pass rush so much in terms of the rest of their season. The Ravens, they're in the same boat. Lamar Jackson's been hurt pretty much all year. So they're still better than all the teams below them. This is where it gets fun. A chance you say, probably not, but people will still pay. These are teams that people are still paying to watch that pretty much have no chance to make a Super Bowl run, which is the 49ers. Obviously, you can read all the teams. I'm not sold on the Bears. I'm not fully sold on the Texans. I'm definitely not sold on Duval at all. And Kyle Shanahan's Kyle Shanahan. So that's
a very good point.
They're kind of like, they're not really going to go anywhere. I mean, even if they do make it to the Super Bowl, they're probably, if you put the 49ers in the Super Bowl, they would probably lose to the Browns just because it's Kyle Shanahan. In this tier list, though, I would say the Texans are probably my 1, and then the Bears are probably my 2. I am by no means a Caleb Williams fan whatsoever, so I will never, ever say that the Bears are probably winning the Super Bowl. Next one. It's always something. The Eagles start throwing the ball more to A.J. Brown. They lose. This week, they go to a more balanced, Saquon runs a bunch. Now, stay with me. They played a crap team, so they won. But it's always something. Bills, same situation. Down, 21-0 at one point? And
Yikes.
Come back and beat the Pats. With no wide receivers, just James Cook and Josh Allen. I guess Dawson Knox played pretty good, and so did Dalton Kincaid. But that's it. There's really no wide receivers on that team whatsoever. But like you guys said, it's their year or nobody's year. The Seahawks forgot that they had an offense and just decided to let Jason Myers kick every single time they got into field goal range. Really smart. I really enjoyed that for fantasy purposes. So keep doing that for the next couple weeks if you could. Pats, like I said, always something. Blow it to the Bills. And then the Chargers, once again, this is Jim Harbaugh. This is his whole career. This is what he does. He takes teams and he turns them around. And then he wins. And then he wins. And I think his time for winning a Super Bowl is coming within the next 3 years. I honestly think that he's getting there with his team. He's got arguably a top 5 defensive coordinator in the league. A couple more key pieces that he can get out there on defense. Maybe sew up that offensive line a little bit, and he can be ready. 2022 Georgia is this one. Now, if you remember 2022 Georgia, they went 15-0, and they pretty much dominated the second half of their season besides like 3 games. Which is why the Broncos and Rams are here, because both of those teams have pretty much won every single game but 2 or 3. Now, the difference here is Georgia won all their games. These teams have lost, but they're kind of the favorite heading into it. They really have not many flaws for the most part. They're pretty strong. Obviously, the Rams potentially losing Devontae Adams definitely looms over their head a little bit because now teams will just focus Puka and make other teams beat them. But these are the favorites, and these are the teams that, they escape the close ones like the Bulldogs did in 2022, and the teams that they should hammer, they hammer them. And then my last tier, which was I'm going to go off of last week, Super Bowl bound. Like we've said, there's not really a team that's going to run away with it this year. I mean, that's why, Broncos, Rams are here, because they're probably the closest to running away with it. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see a team like them, the Bills. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but Bills, maybe the Seahawks too, potentially. Because Sam Darnold can just throw it up. JSN's down there somewhere. But yeah, that's my list. A lot of talking because I accidentally made too many tier lists or tiers. And so here we are.
Solid.
Yeah, I like it.
Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I feel like before the whole Devontae Adams injury, you could make a really strong case that the Rams are the most Super Bowl bound out of every team in the NFL. But obviously, losing Adams would be detrimental, especially because everyone will just match up Naku the whole time. I really like this list. I'm pretty high on the Seahawks too this year. I've been a big Sam Darnold guy for years, and I feel like he fits perfectly in this system. And JSN, I mean, he is just incredible. He's just an incredible weapon for this team. But overall, I mean, this is definitely better than Mike's. I can tell you that much. The Raiders are where they should be. Sorry, Mike.
See,
But
and that's
my only critique would be you were a little hard on the Panthers. I feel like the Panthers still have been able to overcome a lot of obstacles this year. I feel like they could have maybe been up a tier, maybe flip-flop them with Minnesota, but I totally understand where you're coming from with the Vikings.
okay, perfect. The only reason I had the Panthers there, well, I'll tell you two things. I'll do the Panthers first. Panthers were there because 4 times this year I've started Tet McMillan and he's gotten under 10 points. The other 50 times I've started him, he's gotten 2, 5, 6, 3, 1. So, but I also think how they use Rico Dowdle was dumb. Chuba Hubbard was definitely the better runner on yesterday, and they still ran Dowdle. So that's that. And then the Rams, pretty much why you explained, they could be the Super Bowl contender was why I had them in that 2023 Georgia list, because when that postseason started, Georgia was I'm pretty sure they were minus money in the betting market in 2022. So we agree. I'm glad you like it.
Great list.
40 minutes into that list.
Mike, how many minutes do you put in?
5.
I can tell.
Yeah.
This is where it gets fun.
Alrighty. We already know. You know who the tiers are presented by every single week. Let's get into it. Tier 1, eliminated. All these teams have less than 5 wins. They're cooked. They suck. Sorry, Austin. Hate to say it about the Cardinals. Maybe if Kyler Murray could, if Call of Duty could somehow have magical healing properties, then the Cardinals could be decent. But yeah, all these teams suck. They're all 5 wins or lower, and it's it for them. They're all done for. Next, sadly, performing well. The reason I say sadly like that is because not a single one of these teams is actually benefiting from playing well besides morale whatsoever. All 3 of these teams could use with a higher draft pick than they currently have and seem to be trending towards. So, yeah, it's cool to win, but your team needs more talent, and you could probably do with a higher draft pick than you have right now. Next, will fall off. I mean, Cowboys just had a classic Cowboys loss, quite frankly. And then, obviously, Colts. I love Phillip Rivers. I think he's an absolute animal, but it's not going to happen. They're going to fall off. Next, Patrick Mahomes' ACL. That's what the whole season is hinging on now. And quite frankly, I think that roster with Chad Henne or Matt Barkley could probably still beat the current Cowboys or Colts. Next, worse than the record. Not that either of these teams have great records, but they're worse than their records indicate for certain. They're just not very good, and that hurts me to say, kind of, but not really. Depends on the quarterback. What I mean by this is that when these quarterbacks play well, these teams tend to win football games. The defenses are, in the Texans' case, unbelievable, and in the Jaguars' case, actually pretty good. When Trevor Lawrence plays well, they tend to win. When he plays bad, we saw that happen probably a month or so ago against the Texans in Houston. It was actually quite embarrassing the way that the Jaguars lost that game. But yeah, when these two teams have their quarterbacks performing well, they tend to win football games. And that's kind of what's been happening a lot lately for them. Not quite trustworthy. I know the records are a bit skewed here, but they're good football teams. Don't get me wrong. Love Baker. I've obviously vocally been very supportive of Baker Mayfield, especially over the past 2 years. Have been a big fan of him ever since he got to Tampa in the first place. But the team's looking real shaky at the moment. And then Chargers, I'm very, very similar in the same boat as Austin when it comes to Justin Herbert as a playoff quarterback and how he performs in those situations. That's obviously to be seen if they can do something to flip that script a little bit this year. Next, good but not good enough. I believe this was the name of one of my tiers last week as well. They're good. The Bears are good. They're 10-4. They're fighting for the division. I think they're actually winning the division right now, aren't they? Or are they winning the division? Yeah. I just don't think they're quite good enough. Dark horses, I think these two teams could make runs. Like Bryce said, Kyle Shanahan will Kyle Shanahan, but typically he doesn't do that until he gets to the Super Bowl. So there's that. And then Lions, we'll see. Could make a run. I still have faith in the Packers, even without Micah Parsons. And then Eagles seem to be kind of getting back to Eagles form a little bit. Insane defense. These two teams just have unbelievable defenses, and quite frankly, it really doesn't matter what they do outside of that. I mean, obviously, Bo Nix is playing half decent, and then Sam Darnold is actually playing very well. So there's that. Those teams have some good things going for them, particularly their unbelievable defenses. Cautiously optimistic about Buffalo. This team, as we've said, if there was any year to make a run, this would be the year for them. We'll see if they can exercise their playoff demons and get there. Drake May. Everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. Patriots are the second best team in football right now, in my humble opinion. And then I am firmly still a believer. I know Devontae Adams just got injured, but the Rams are still overall healthy and incredible. And I have full faith in Matthew Stafford, the All-American, that the Rams will get the job done. And I think if any team's going to win the Super Bowl this year, it is probably them. So that's the tiers for this week.
Austin, thoughts?
I have a question. Why are the Dallas Cowboys in the will fall off tier?
Listen, I'm a fan of Brian Schottenheimer personally. I actually think he's doing a very good job for what he's got.
Couldn't you make the case, though, that they've already fallen off since they're at a 1% playoff chance now?
Sure. But, they've been fighting and scrapping a lot this year, and I think that the actual fall off will come record-wise over the last stretch of their season, because they've had some highs this year.
Fair. I actually had a bet with my one friend. If the Cowboys would have won the Super Bowl this year, I would have shaved my head bald live on the podcast.
You're not going to have to do that.
I'm not going to have to do that at all, unless 1% actually screws me over. But no, I like this list too. This is a pretty solid one. Personally, I would bump San Francisco down one tier. I feel like they got started a little bit too late in the season. They're winning some good games. Kyle Shanahan, be that as it may, but I kind of feel like they're in the same boat as Chicago right now. They're a good team. They have some quality wins, but I don't see them being on the exact same tier as the Detroit Lions, because I could see the Lions still competing with teams like the Eagles, teams like the Packers, teams like the Seahawks in the NFC playoff brackets. I honestly see the Niners as first round exits, if you want the honest truth. And I can say the same thing about Chicago.
Okay, I know that's fair. Actually, I can see it.
But outside that grid list.
Go ahead.
He was just saying it was a good list.
Oh yeah, no, outside that good list. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I thought I cut you off. My bad. I can make the same bet with you, but in terms of Pitt basketball with Mike, if they win the national championship, I would shave every piece of hair off my body.
Make the tournament. Make the tournament.
Yeah, because didn't they just lose to like Hofstra or something like that?
So did Syracuse. We literally talked about it last week. Why are you laughing?
Because it's hilarious. Hey, you know who hasn't won this year? You know who hasn't lost this year? Them boys in blue.
Gosh, Alex, pay the bills.
Yaxel Lendenborg.
Oh yeah, I just realized we've been rolling. Let me quit sharing this.
What a list, Alex. I like it.
Thank you. All right, let me pull this up. This episode of Tailgate Talks, as always, is sponsored by DeFrisha Recycling and Junk Removal. DeFrisha is a family-run business out of Greenville, PA, that provides services such as vehicle purchasing, scrap metal purchasing, appliance removal, junk removal, garbage services, dumpster rentals, curbside pickups, house, garage, and building cleanouts, and demolition services around the Greenville and Pittsburgh areas. If you or anyone you know is in need of any of these services, check out the links in the description down below. Go to DeFrisha's website or to their Facebook page. Get in contact with them today. See if they provide their services in your area. Thank you, DeFrisha, as always, for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks.
Yeah, and as for rapid fire, as obviously Bryce already spoiled it, yes, Bryce is in the championship, and we don't know who he's facing, so the championship is going to be next week. Christmas week. So that's interesting. But yeah, so Bryce will obviously face either AJ or Haley in rapid fire. So yeah, no rapid fire this week. But of course, in just a little bit, about 14 minutes from now, the Steelers will kick off against the Dolphins.
Yay.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm saying too. Like I could like whatever. Aaron Rodgers still looks like Kenny Pickett with long sleeves on. He has them on now. They are wearing the color rush though, so that's nice. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Nope.
I want to say I think it's going to be a Tomlin masterclass, dude. Like Alex said last week and the week before, it just lines up too perfect that they lose tonight, win next week. Well, no. I forget how it is. They play the Lions yet, and the Browns and the Ravens, and then tonight, right?
Yeah, they play tonight, and then they play, I believe it's at Detroit, at Cleveland, and then home against Baltimore.
So they're what's their record right now? 7-8, 7-7?
7-6.
7-6. So they win. I don't know, dude. I just feel a Tomlin masterclass incoming.
I just have a strong feeling. I'm telling you, I have a strong feeling we're going to be 8-8 going into our final regular season game at home against the division rival Baltimore, and we're going to win to go to 9-8, and Tomlin's going to break the record for the NFL franchise history longest winning streak. Longest non-losing season streak.
In the first round.
Yeah. Well, 9-8 is probably not going to be enough this year. So, unless that wins the division. Well, actually, if we beat Baltimore, it will be for the division. So,
yeah. I don't know. It's quite interesting. What's going to happen? I personally hope they go 8-9.
I think it will be absolute comedy gold if if Baltimore just continues to suck and we still win the division at 8-9. Like, I just think that would be hilarious because then everyone will be like, hey, he finally had a losing record, but he still made the playoffs.
Hey, listen, I've said it before. The one time Tomlin finally has a losing season, technically record-wise, is he wins the division, makes the playoffs. That's exactly how it's going to go.
Here's the interesting thing about the game tonight, too. So one of my buddies told me that the Steelers have won 22 straight Monday Night Football games. Fact check that, see if it's true. I don't know. But so they have a hot streak going in Monday Night Football. The Dolphins always lose in cold weather like this. They're like 0-7 or something stupid like that. So something's going to have to give here. I mean, it lines up that the Steelers should win, but it's like that guy on the TikTok thing that goes, and we're the Cleveland Browns, and they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, it's something's got to give. Something's going to give.
So last thing I guess we'll talk about before we actually have to pay the bills one more time because we do it 3 times. He's not it. I'm telling you right now. Yes, the Browns are awful. Alex, this is when we start to hate on Shador. The Browns are awful, and that I'm sure it's not all his fault. But dude, he still had 3 interceptions.
Yes, but there's a caveat with 2 of those interceptions.
What is it?
One hit Jerry Jeudy right in the hands for a touchdown, and instead of catching it, he let the defender rip it right out of his hands. Like, if you watch the clip, it literally hits his hands, and instead of trying to secure it, he just leaves it out here, and the defender just goes and rips it away. Then the other one was tipped by a linebacker straight up in the air. Say that's his fault? Okay, deal. But that one on Jerry Jeudy is 100%, even though it goes as an interception, not Shador's fault. That should have been a touchdown.
Let's look at his passer rating, though. Let's look at his passer rating, though, and let's see if we can. Like, I don't even know what it is. What is it? Or what was it? It's still, I'm so, in Austin, I don't know what you think. Like, I am so sick and tired of the excuses for Shador. And I know this is his 3rd, 4th game still, but the amount of excuses I've heard since he's been the starting quarterback for the Browns has just been abysmal. And I know it's the Cleveland Browns. They suck. They're not going to get, but he's not going to turn the franchise around. He's not. And the excuses are too, like the worst take I've heard, I forget who said it, but it was like, they're setting him up the field to play in this schedule. Listen, if you can't play in this schedule and you want to be a franchise quarterback, you're not a franchise quarterback if you can't play in that schedule. I don't care.
First of all, the schedule's the schedule. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard to understand. I don't get it.
I will say Stefanski isn't holding back with him though. If you look at thanks to Alex for the next gen stats thing, so I can see. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at this past week, I mean Stefanski doesn't. I mean he makes them throw middle of the field. A lot of those are under 10 yards, but still middle of the field. And I mean he throws passes all over the field. It's not just short behind the line of scrimmage. I mean he's on the right side, he's in the middle, he's on the left. So Stefanski's really not holding him back in terms of, hey, we want you to throw this ball. We want you to throw it everywhere. Like he's not like O'Connell's kind of after JJ started to, really lose his confidence and suck. O'Connell started to turn it back a little bit. But if you look at all of Shador's next gen stats of where he's thrown all year long, he's thrown more middle of the field than he has on the outside of the field. So, I mean, I give Stefanski credit. He's like, hey, you know what? Everybody wants to see it. Here it is. We're not going to hold him back. Go. Do your thing.
So here, who's ready to see his QBR? I have it highlighted. Everybody pay attention to my screen because this is the QBR for Shador Sanders against the Chicago Bears.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like he still went 18 for 35. Like all but 2 of his completions were 15 yards or shorter. I'm looking at the pass chart right now. Like,
so last words on Shador Sanders because I completely skipped over it. Austin, what do you think?
No, I fully agree with you guys on the Shador Sanders. I mean, I didn't really see much coming out of college for Shador. I mean, especially with what was going on over at Colorado. I mean, if anybody out of Colorado was going to do something, it would have been Travis Hunter, let's be honest. But even then, that's still questionable. But I will say one thing. The game against the Titans, I don't understand why Kevin Stefanski pulled Shador on the 2-point conversion attempt. I don't understand what play they drew up there with Judkins throwing it back, and then he forgot to throw it back to the receiver and tried taking himself, and then got it was an awful play design. I don't know why they would draw that up. But outside of that, I agree with you guys on Shador.
It's also the Cleveland Browns.
It's the Cleveland Browns.
And
he
that's
only
part
had 3
of it too.
completions beyond 10 yards.
Yeah. Did that say 8.2 QBR? Is that what that said?
Yes, sir.
That's awful.
He only threw 9 passes total beyond 10 yards.
Yeah, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
5 behind the line of scrimmage, 8 within 3 or 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Like,
But again, people don't want to hear that. They just want to give out excuses for Shador. And then when he plays crap teams and plays, I will admit, well, they deem him the savior of a franchise quarterback. When
Lord have mercy,
he
we
did
threw
that
behind
against the Raiders and the Titans.
We threw behind the line of scrimmage less in high school than this offense. Like,
let me ask you guys this: are you guys Team Dylan Gabriel, Team Shador Sanders, or neither?
Shador's better than
I'm team
Shador's
the Browns are terrible at drafting and developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, me too. But to answer your question, kind of, I would rather have Shador over Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
I would too, but I don't really care too much because they both suck. That's my overall.
See, Austin, I'm kind of on the opposite side of Dom too, because Dom hates Shador and they all do. I don't hate Shador. I think at his ADP, where they drafted him at, as he's performing, is kind of what you would expect. Do I think with a full season and off season of knowing he's the starter and giving him that chance to go and try to perfect his craft, he'll be better? I do. I mean, nobody's a franchise quarterback in Cleveland because Cleveland's ownership's horrible. It's kind of like Kenny Pickett with the Raiders. He looked good after Geno Smith went out, but nobody's going to be successful with the Raiders. So
yeah,
I think he's going to be cheap, so they might as well run with him for however many years. What's it going to hurt? Build the team around him, and if they win with him, imagine if you get a good quarterback in his shoes, a better quarterback in his shoes.
And quite frankly, I don't really hate Shador Sanders. I just can't
don't hate him
stand
either.
all of the mentally ill Shador truthers on Twitter. Like
Well,
that's
that's fair.
Exactly
That's
how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. For sure.
that's
And
my
another
gripe.
thing- and another thing with the Raiders, if they take a quarterback in this next draft, which they probably will, you got to fix that offensive line because you're going
Oh
to
my
get
God,
Scott
boys.
King. You
Wait,
got to
no.
fix that offensive line. Ashton Genty had like one run play that was a first down, and they let Kenny Pickett throw. Oh, also change the game plans too. Pete Carroll will probably get fired. He let Kenny Pickett throw down the field once. And it was when there was already a blowout.
So I've been considering this and weighing it in my mind recently over the past couple days. And I want to see what you guys think of this because I think it would be an insane move, an unprecedented move. But I think it would be perfect. So there's some contingencies to this, and it will depend on those, on how this falls into place. But there is a very good possibility that either, well, actually, I'll just stick to the one. There's a very good possibility, actually, no, two. There is a very good possibility that either the Titans or the Giants end up with the first overall draft pick in the NFL this year. Neither of those teams, seemingly, I would say, especially for the Titans, but probably also for the Giants, I would imagine, neither of those teams are going to be looking to draft a quarterback with the number 1 or the number 2 overall pick. This is going to get crazy. The LA Rams are very likely going to have a top 10 draft pick this year from the Falcons, along with their own first round pick, obviously. If the Rams win the Super Bowl this year and Stafford decides to go out on top, do we see a situation where, with the roster they have that is already stacked with young talent, do the Rams take their top 10 pick from the Falcons, their own first round pick this year, and either a first or a second round pick next year, and trade up with a non-quarterback needy team to number 1 and take Fernando Mendoza in the NFL draft this year?
That would be crazy.
See, I don't know. I've been very vocal about this year's quarterback draft sucks, and actually the overall players in general. Okay, let me rephrase that because they made it to the Division I level, and I didn't.
Mendoza
So I
did
can't
win the
say they
Heisman, by the
sucked.
way.
Huh?
That's another thing we forgot to mention. Mendoza did win the Heisman.
Yeah, Mendoza did win the Heisman.
But I've been very vocal about how college football is down this year, and if you look at Mendoza as his Heisman campaign for winning, it's probably one of the bottom couple in the past 20 years.
Statistically, yeah, but I think he's actually a very good NFL prospect, and I think that he, particularly in the Sean McVay offense, would be unreal because he's pretty much just a more talented version of Jared Goff, a more talented and more athletic version of Jared Goff. I think he would work so unbelievably well in that system. Even if Stafford doesn't retire this year, I mean, I get that you draft a quarterback, particularly number 1 overall, with the expectation that he's going to play right away. But again, even if he doesn't decide to retire this year, Stafford, like, you are loaded with young talent and have a good salary cap situation. Who's to say that you shouldn't trade up, take this guy number 1 overall, 1-1, and either start him right away if Stafford retires, or let him develop behind a future Hall of Fame quarterback and a top 5 passer of all time?
So let me ask, do you think they're doing that with Stetson Bennett currently?
No, well, and again, this is heavily hypothetical, obviously.
That's why I'm asking about, Stetson Bennett's there. And I mean, he was a very successful college quarterback.
He was, but he doesn't have the physicals. He's not, he doesn't have the tangibles to be like a really good NFL quarterback, at least in my mind.
True. But if you think about it, and Stafford has been teaching him, obviously. They've had to sit in the room together. And Stafford's one of the most natural passers in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't know. I could see them I see what you're saying, and I think it makes sense. But they also have Jimmy G behind Stafford.
Best you're
So-
doing is making it to a Super Bowl for him to overthrow a wide open touchdown in the fourth quarter and end up losing the game. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, if I think I could go out there and hand the ball off to Kyron Williams or Blake Corum, who have both been exceptional this year,
yeah.
and then maybe throw 150 yards downfield to Puka or Devontae Adams. I don't know.
Shout out to Kyle Pitts for ending my fantasy season this week, by the way. I hate you with every fiber of my being.
But anyway, we got to wrap it up. Actually, I have to pay the bills one more time because we do it 3 times, like I said. So Alex, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I could just do it at the end of the episode. Let's just rip rapid fire and get it done.
No, we're not doing rapid fire, remember? Because the championship's next week.
Right. Whoops. As I said before,
Can't wait to win.
and as I will say again, this episode of Tailgate Talks is sponsored by DeFrischer Recycling and Junk Removal. If you or anyone you know are in need of DeFrischer services, check out the link down below in the description. Go to their website or their Facebook page. Get in contact with DeFrischer. See if they provide their services in your area. Thank you, DeFrischer, for sponsoring this episode of Tailgate Talks. That was a good one today. Any last words, gentlemen?
My last words are March is coming up, baby. It is almost time that we start thinking about it.
Oh,
It's time we start thinking about it.
Yeah, Austin, any last
it really
words?
is.
Yeah, no, I had a great time with you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on today. And if at any
Absolutely.
point Mike gives either one of you gentlemen a hard time, just refer to him as
Shut
Carl
up.
Jr. from now on.
Shut up.
You
Shut
got
up.
it.
Shut up.
And I have
I
a
will
buddy. I have
keep
a
that
buddy that
in
we can
mind.
call at any point if you ever need any assistance.
Nope.
Perfect.
All
So
right.
I'll call him Carl Jr. if you call him Lil Bro.
No.
Deal.
Good night, America.